There's been a lot made about the Grizzlies' resilience this series, their ability to kind of, hang in there and not give up. But the flip side to that is you guys seem to answer back every time. What's kind of been the key to, you guys being able to respond when they start to put on the pressure?
It's all our mental. I think that's the biggest thing, the mental aspect of it. Like I said, like you said, they're a team that's never going to quit. Up 30, down 30, it doesn't matter what quarter it is. And, hats off to them for that. But the biggest thing is when you have a team that's always going to be aggressive, always trying to continue to fight, we got to be smart with the basketball. Too many times tonight, I know we won, but too many times tonight, you get up 9, 10, we get careless. I throw a cross-court baseball pass, turnover, leads to a 3. We had another one where it was just a stupid pass. Like those are the things that we got to nip in the butt. Those are the mental stuff, and we fixed it. We executed through it, and it didn't end up hurting us. But if you want to be the team you want to be, that's going to be the game. For throughout the playoffs. So that's really what it is for us. Just continue to be sharp mentally, up 10, down 10, and go out there and do what we do.
Sarah Todd, Deseret News.
Don, there was that sequence in the fourth quarter when Mike came in, he stripped Ja Morant and then turned around and made a 3 on the other end. It was a huge momentum shift. He'd been kind of quiet through the night up until that point. What can you say about the way that he's sort of able to come in those really high pressure situations, calm things down, and be able to shift the game like that?
Just from the court, on paper, he only had 11 points. He had 7 assists, but it felt like he was out there having 20 and 10. You know what I mean? Like just his presence, the way he goes about the game. Like I said, mentally, he's seen a lot of this throughout his playoff experience. He's seen a lot of it here. So he knows the game, knows the arena. That plays a big factor for sure. And his knowledge of the game helps. Understanding and studying guys on the scouting report, knowing their movements, knowing when to be aggressive, when to lay back. I think that's why I always say, like, man, it's great to have Mike because, he's out there helping me as well. When he makes a move or he does something, I see it, on film or I see it in live action. He's always kind of giving me little tidbits here and there. And I think that's what he does for his team. Like last game, it was 20 and whatever. Game 2, it was 20 and 15. Like, tonight was 11 and 7. But he had a tremendous impact. He had one of the highest plus minuses in the game because he just he executes on both ends of the floor. He's a leader. On the floor and in the locker room.
David James, KUTV.
Donovan, Dillon Brooks was trending on Twitter big time during the game. Jazz fans were going nuts. And I'm curious if, as players, the stuff that's happened with him, you just view it as kind of part of the playoffs, or do you feel like some lines been crossed and it does fire you guys up a little bit the way it fires up fans?
I love him. Simply put, you guys, you've seen it through my career. I like when people talk shit. Like it's just part of the game. I grew up in that, and that's just how I've always played basketball. I think for us, it gets him going, and that's his thing. That's cool. It gets us going too. So, but that also goes back to what I was saying to Sarah about the mental component, because it can take you out of the game completely, and I think the biggest thing is to stay sharp mentally and going out there finding ways to execute. And he wants to keep doing that. That's cool. I don't think we're really sweating it. The biggest thing is just got to stay locked in and continue to do what we do and not really pay attention to all that.
Sam Farnsworth, KSL TV.
Hey, Donovan, what's the feeling like tonight compared to last year or back in the bubble when you guys had that 3-1 lead against the Nuggets? Is that at all comparable, or have you tried to move past that already?
Same situation. I think the biggest thing is we didn't come in the locker room like we came in happy for the win, but we didn't really come in the locker room like we got one. Job's not done. It's not finished, and I think that's the message. I know that's the message. 1 through 17 and the coaches and everybody. We have to go there and take care of home court back in Utah, and I think that's where our head is at. This is a good win. There's things we could have done much better, and we'll go ahead and execute that and take care of business at home. But we've seen this before. We've been here before. It's just the exact moment we've played up to being this team that we've been. Because of that moment, I would say. Because that fueled a lot of this season, and we're here again, and we're gonna go out there and just do what we do and not really relish on the past, although it definitely is feeling.
Kristen Kenny, Jazz TV.
Royce ONeil has been really balanced on both ends of the floor this series. What are you seeing from him? What's standing out most?
Confidence. He's always a confident player, but I think his determination to be the best defender on the floor, his determination to be the best rebounder on the floor, his determination to go out there and to make all the little plays. Like, he had 9 and 9 tonight, and the best play he made was the rebound to a kick out, I think, and then he passed it to somebody, and I think Boyan got a 3 out of that, or it was really one of those happened. But keeping the possessions alive, they want to shift off them, finding him, he's taking those shots. There are games where he's shot faked, and we let him know it, and he's determined. We've worked out together for so many hours in the off season, and for him to see him doing what he's doing is everything we expect, and I'm happy for him. And he's a big energy booster for us on both ends of the floor, and especially for me. Moments when I get tired, he's in my ear. Basically saying work too hard for you to be tired. That's my guy, man, and he's playing well.
Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
Donovan, historically, your double-digit free throw shooting nights have come on nights when you're also shooting well from the floor for whatever reason, just like your game is clicking. But the last 2 games you've been in double digits and you haven't been shooting particularly well. How does that help on nights like this?
I think, for me, is understanding I'm still finding my rhythm. I think the 8 of 22 and then it was 9 of 23 last game. Even the game before that, when I first came back, I'm still finding my groove. There's shots that I'm missing that I feel like I can make. There's spots I know I can get to that I'm still trying to work back into getting to. That'll sharpen up, a few of those looks for me. But until I'm able to do that, until I'm able to get my rhythm, because that comes with game reps. It doesn't matter if you're hurt or not hurt. Sitting out for a month and a half, 2 months, whatever, is part of that. I think that's just happening. So for me, it's how can I be strong mentally and understand that, maybe that shot's not there, but trying to get to the line, trying to draw fouls, trying to create for my teammates, understand the attention I draw. That's really where it's at for me. And I think just like I said, the mental aspect of the game is really starting to click for me, and just trying to continue to do that every game, not just in spurts, because I've had in the past, I've gone this way and came back down, but just keeping it level throughout the entire playoffs.
Nick Friedel, ESPN.
Donovan, to follow up on last year, you mentioned several times the mental aspect of the game. What do you think you and the rest of your teammates learned most in the experience of being up 3-1 in the bubble that you can take with you now going into Wednesday?
Not taking the little details for granted. I think we kind of saw that this year, in this playoffs, the series we're in right now. We were up by a bunch in game 1. We were up by 20 in game 2, they came back and scored 30 points in 40 points in the third quarter in 6 minutes, whatever. Game 3 here, we're up, they come back. Tonight we're up 12, they come back. Understanding that we, like the turnover I brought up earlier, like the turnovers, the lack of rebounding, like those are the little details that you got to do when you're down 10, tie game, or up 10. That's what we lost. We really lost us that in the bubble was we just stopped executing on the little things because we felt like, oh, it's okay. They got to win 3 more times in a row, and I think that having that will allow us to kind of come in and be like, all right, this is what we got to do. One more hit, one more, sprint to the corner, getting back on defense, taking a foul, like whatever it may be. That having that be so fresh, having to be last year, I think definitely helps us understand that, game 4 or game 5 is a guarantee. Just because we're going home, we've won 2 in a row. This team's going to fight and compete. And I think the biggest thing is just our mental fortitude and continuing to go out there and play like we're down 10.
Dana Green, ABC4.
Hey, Donovan. It's no question that Jordan had been struggling a little bit the first 3 games from the outside, but today he lit it up. He looked like the 6th man of the year again. How important is it to have him on fire like that to go as far as you guys want to go?
Big time. I don't want to put too much pressure on him by saying that he needs to be that. I think he understands it. He's seen it. He's the only guy I want to say on the team that's been to the finals that played. So he's seen it at an even higher level than we have, the ups and downs that come with it. And that's what you see tonight. In a night like tonight, he has 24. We may not doesn't necessarily shoot well the first 2 or 3 games, but sticking with it. Understanding it, and not just on the offensive end, but he went out there and had I think, yeah, 6 rebounds. Like that's huge. You know, scoring, he's going to do that. We all know that. But, you know, impacting the game in different ways, I think is huge. Fighting for loose balls. You know, I don't think we're too worried about him kind of getting cold in certain instances because, like we all know, he can turn it around. And he's been here in these moments plenty of times. And, you know, I think for him, you know, having him have 24 is huge because it takes the pressure off, you know, a bunch of us like Mike, Joe, but, you know, there be games where we're all clicking, you know, we're all out there shooting well and whatnot. So nights like tonight, you know, it's good to have JC score like this, but I'm looking at the 6 rebounds and the plays he made defensively because that's what's going to win us games. You know, well, we're a team that has many weapons and he was able to shoot well tonight and he'll continue to.
All right. Thank you, Donovan. That's it. Appreciate it.